What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, RM Fabrication. I know I've not uploaded anything in quite some time. I kind of lost the drive. I get in a zone where I just start building and I don't take out the camera. But I picked up something new and I kind of want to show you guys. I might do some series on this build. I sold my 4th Gen 4Runner. Regret it. Toyota guy at heart. I still have the 5th Gen. I've done rock sliders on it. I started to build it up to take it off-road, but it's a 2022. It's only got like 20,000 miles on it, and I just can't bring myself to mess it up. I still have my Tundra, but I picked up this Cherokee. Used to be a Jeep guy. I know, Toyota guy, Jeep guy. These things are so easy to build. Stuff for them so cheap. The aftermarket support is unbelievable with them. So I jumped on Facebook Marketplace and was looking around, and this Jeep was 5 minutes from my house. The lady had it posted for $1,200. It was her son's Jeep, and he got something new. I showed up, drove it just right down the road and back, had a lot of issues, and I offered her 800 bucks, I think, and she came back. She's like, I'll tell you what, meet me in the middle, and we got a deal. So I paid 1,000 bucks for this thing. It's a 98, 222,000 miles on it. Clean title. I didn't think it had any rust. I didn't really look at it because it's $1,000. Ran fine. 4-wheel drive worked. Had a brand new battery in it. Had a fresh inspection sticker on it. Had brand new stock tires on it. It's hard to argue $1,000 for inspected running driving vehicle anymore. So I gave her the money and transferred the title and brought it home and immediately started cutting it up and modifying it and building a Rocklander, Overlander, whatever you want to call it. It's going to go off-road. It's going to be a long-term project probably, but let me flip this camera around. I'll show you what I got going on. Show you the things I've done to it. Stay tuned. All right. So when I picked it up, it was hit in this corner. Nothing was messed up except for the front bumper. It was pushed way in, and you couldn't see any of the front of the frame horn at all. But, you know, I have a welder. I was like, I can fix that. So when I got the factory bumper off, the unibody rail was actually pushed in tight to the inside. But I managed to get that all straightened out. I got it pushed out. And I'm not putting the factory bumper back on, so I started looking around, and Dirtbound Off-Road has this do-it-yourself kit that caught my eye. I like how high clearance it is. It leaves, you know, a good approach angle. So I snagged it. For the cost of the steel and the time, these do-it-yourself kits are getting so affordable, it almost makes sense just to grab something that's a kit. Went together awesome. I hit it with some Rust-Oleum Canyon Black spray paint, which actually I really like. This is the winch off my 4Runner. The boy down the road ended up buying it, and I said, I'm keeping the winch. I kept a couple things off that. The winch was one of them. So I immediately had a home for this winch to go on. The fair lead off the 4Runner, everything, the whole setup. So I got that front end knocked out. The unibody stiffeners tie-in brackets for the bumper that came with it is designed to bolt. I ended up just welding them on to make it more strong. This will eventually come back apart, and I will get unibody stiffeners the whole way back. After the front bumper, I started on the lift. So I picked up a Rough Country 4.5-inch long arm kit. It rides great, flex is nice, and I ain't a Rough Country fanboy, but it comes with, you know, stainless extended brake lines, the shocks, the quick connect sway bar links, the springs, the drop pitman arm. It comes with everything. If you price this stuff out and bought it separately in another kit, however you do it, it's way more expensive. So the initial setup on this Jeep is going to be a 4.5-inch Rough Country lift. I got the lift installed. I ran into issues with these bolts right here. There is captive nuts welded on the inside of the unibody, and you cannot access them. The front two, I tried to tap them, but they ended up stripping out. So I noticed a little bit of rust in this area, and that led me down a rabbit hole of floor pans. I pulled the carpet out, and it was way worse than I originally thought it was. So I ordered floor pans and started cutting them out. It's spot welded in the whole side seam. I had to extend it up on the front. I still need to get seam sealer on all the joints, and these plugs are a pain to find, but I got something on the way that might fix that up. And I'm going to put sound deadener throughout the whole front half of this Jeep. I still have that side to do. There's a couple holes over there. I'm just doing both at the same time. But while I had this out, I welded 1/2 inch by 20 flange nuts on the inside of the unibody rail and put grade 8 1/2 inch bolts in it. So I'll never have to worry about that again. So this turned out okay. If anybody's ever welded thin sheet metal on these old vehicles, it is a pain, but it'll all get covered up with seam sealer, and then it'll have Amazon Basics sound deadener over top of that. These are rough country 15 by 8 -19 offset, just steel wagon wheels, and I got 35 1250 Maxxis Razor MT tires, brand new. I was looking around for a deal on something used, and everybody wants new prices for pretty much trash. So I just got all brand new. I think it's a good stance. The fenders in the front got trimmed on the second body line, and I had this trim laying around, and I slid it on there. Turned out pretty good. Like I said, I still have to seam seal all this. This will get sliced more and folded over flat for tire clearance. But overall, this side is almost done. I fixed the headlight on this side. They had the wrong headlight bucket in there. They had a passenger side on the driver's side. I was able to cut the top of the mount off and flip it and weld it. Got that right. This Jeep has been repainted. It's hard to tell. It's so dusty from grinding in here, but it's been repainted. Looks like single stage. I'm not saying it's nice, but for a Cherokee, I mean, you can see sand scratches in it if you get up on it, but for the most part, it's decent paint. All these Cherokees, I mean, there ain't many out there that look really nice anymore, but cut and fold on the rear. I just did this yesterday, so I'm not anywhere near finished with it, but I cut and folded the rear here. I'll bedline this lip, and I cut and folded the lower quarter. This side was really nice. The other side is rusted out, but I plan to make Rough Stuff sells a cover for this that comes down and goes straight in out of 3/16, but they want, I think, 160 for the kit, and I'm just going to make it myself for probably less than half that. But I just got to paint that. The bezel is missing here. I got to pick one of them up, and this tail light is pretty rigged up. Got to get a tail light for it, the bezel for it. The full exhaust is clapped. This is the other side, so this one's going to take a little bit more work, but like I said, I'm going to make a cap that goes over all this out of 3/16 steel. Looks like it's been hit at one point right here. That's pushed in a little bit. Just to passenger side. See, there's a hole here. I think that's really the only hole on this side. But, I mean, it's getting there. So I'm just going to cut it out and put my new pan in. And we'll do the sound deadener on this side as well. While the carpet was out, I sprayed it with soap, pressure washed it. A lot of guys don't even put this back in, but this cuts down a lot of sound, to be honest with you. And I'm not taking this thing through mud holes, so the carpet will go back in it. It came extremely clean from what it was. I sprayed the seats as well. For $225 on it, I mean, the seats are in really good shape. It's crazy to me that the quality has changed so much over the years. I mean, my Tundra was starting to separate here, and it's a 2015, and these cloth seats from 98 are still very nice. Let me think. Steering box spacer. Anybody that knows an XJ knows the factory steering box spacer is pot metal. It's very thin, and they break. And the steering box bolt sees inside of that aluminum, and I had to extract that. But I ended up getting a Aries fabrication steering box spacer. It's steel, and it's got DOM spacers on it, welded to it. So that'll stiffen that up a little bit. And I still need to get a steering box brace that goes from frame rail to frame rail. You start adding big tires of these things, and it really puts a hurting on them. In fact, them frame rails, them unibody rails. Replaced all the steering box bolts with grade 8 as well. The track bar behind the factory track bar was rusted out. There was a hole back here, so I plated it with 1/8" plate the whole way down around the bottom and bolted the new drop bracket back on. I did a slip yoke eliminator. I just did the hack and tap from Iron Rock Off-Road, and I am going to get either a Adams drive shaft for it, or I'm going to use the front shaft on the back and get a new front shaft. I did a pinion seal on the back yoke. It was very wet when I first got it. I've cleaned this thing up a lot. My plan to do the ZJ disc brake conversion on this. I'm not a fan of drum brakes, and everything bolts right on, so that's one of my plans. I completely took the headliner out and recovered it with new fabric. I got this fabric online, and it's got a foam back. It's made for headliners. Very nice stuff. But I got the whole new headliner in here. I put new speakers all around. So yeah, guys, this is my this is what I've been working on. I have a lot of plans. I'm gonna do 2x6 rockers, cut the factory rocker out and replace it with 2x6. Most likely hood vents. These Cherokees run hot. I think I want to do the armor on the sides with the flare built into them, but I'm not dead set on that yet. So a lot of things I've done. I made a list here. Passenger window regulator was broke. I put a new one on it. All the window switches were janky. I put new ones in it. Door clips, speakers, headliner. I did a valve cover gasket on it. Rear pinion seal, the long arm kit, catback exhaust. I have that, but I haven't put it on yet. Extended rear brake lines, rear main seal, and oil pan gasket. I still need to do them. It doesn't leak a lot, but it does drip. I tinted the front windows. I need rotors and pads on the front. I fixed the blower control, vacuum leak. I fixed the rear shock mounts, the sway bar bushings in the front. I fixed battery cables, headlight bucket. The floor pans, I'm halfway done. Things I want to do, interior cage, frame stiffeners. I want the hooligan centers because they wrap the whole way up around both sides of it instead of the side and bottom. Rear locker, that's a priority. Front truss kit. Eventually I'm going to do full whistle on this, but for now I'm going to do a truss. Probably chromoly shafts, wheels and tires. I've got that. Front bumper. I need a rear bumper. Tire swing out. I got the winch. I've thought about doing the notch custom flares. I've done them on one other Cherokee. They're $700. Slip yoke eliminator, driveline, high steer is a priority. Shackle relocation boxes, because with any re-arched springs on a XJ, this is what you get. Terrible shackle angle. So you want that more of a 45-degree angle. And I need shackle relocation boxes, which is a problem in itself. So this is the rabbit hole you go down when you get into a project like this. I only wanted 4.5 inches of lip because I wanted to keep this thing low. The shackle angle is bad. So most of the shackle relocation boxes that they sell add an additional 1.5 inches of lift because it moves the box, the mounting point from here down here. So if I get the ones that do that, I'm going to raise this another 1.5 inches in the back, which to match it, I'm going to have to get an adjustable lift collar for the front and put on top of them springs. But I didn't really want to lift this any more than it is. So I don't know what I'm going to do there yet, but I'll figure it out. The downside of this is the ride quality. It rides extremely stiff in the back because that shackle angle is straight up and down. But yeah, this is what I've been working on. I've only had it for probably 3 months, and I've done all this in 3 months. I bought it completely stock, and it was pretty rough, but it's coming along. I still have to flex test it. I don't know if this is going to be enough trimming or not. Like I said, I cut 2.5 inches off this, and this will get bent over flat. So, I mean, it does have a good bit of room there, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. If I got to go more, I'm going to relocate this washer box, because if I cut any more off this, you're going to see the side of that, and I don't want to see that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm open for ideas. Here's a floor pan for the passenger side. I'm going to jump on that. My plan is to get this side done, seam seal it, bed liner, the bottom half. I'll probably spray bed liner on the floor pan up here, and then I'll put my sound deadener on. This side will be done. Paint this, make my plate for this, and then I'm going to flip the Jeep 180 and work on the passenger side. Yeah, this is what I'm up to. So yeah, I picked this thing up. It's cheap. I'm going to build it out. It's not bad, but if you guys have any suggestions or comments, leave them below. It helps the channel. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to keep on posting weekly videos or monthly videos. I work a full-time job. I do this on the side. I do other people's rides on the side. And I got 2 kids, so I'm a busy guy. So anyway, thanks for watching my video. Stop it in. Leave a like, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.